Arcane Season 2. Yeah. You are someone black that saw this season and turned off your brain to how these white writers wrote these black characters. It's a good season.
If you do not want any spoilers, you should not finish this video. If you are sensitive to deep thought and racial issues and discussions, you should not finish this video. This is your one and only warning.
But if you are someone black and saw this series through a critical lens of how these white writers wrote these black characters, it's a mess. Arcane as a whole does not pass the Blacktail test. What is the Blacktail test? So it's similar to the Blackdel Test, except this involves black characters, and there are 3 steps for a series based on diversity to pass. First, you gotta have 2 black characters talk to one another without the presence or really mention of the white main character. If 2 black characters do speak to one another, it can't be on hostility and it can't be on dire straits like they need to communicate with one another in order to survive. It's gotta be in a casual sense where there's no rush to speak to the other just to get them out of a situation. And lastly, black love. 2 black characters that fall in love and be in love and stay in love with one another by the end of the series or the end of the movie. Whether it be hetero or gay, whatever, they just gotta be black. Bonus points if they're more on the darker skin side. Arcane does not pass none of that as far as I remember. Echo never talks to Mel. No black characters at all have a black love interest. And the 2 black characters that do talk to one another, even though I wouldn't count this because of course they're family, it was on hostility. Instead, what you get is the magical negro trope. You get the, oh, I'm oppressed. Let me work with my oppressor to work on the inside. But I end up being more hostile, more dangerous than the oppressor. The black man versus black woman trope, even though the black man wasn't real, it just still gave off that image of black man versus black woman. The special one in a kind black boy genius, the predatory black person. And I only say this because as much as we did not like the idea of Slyko being with Jinx, that energy wasn't given with how Mel's mom was with white young men that didn't seem that much older than Jinx. That part always rubbed me the wrong way of how creepy that is. It don't matter if you are a man or woman. That age gap I saw between Mel's mom's boyfriend, it was really creepy. I was so uncomfortable with it. It was like the writers said, well, we couldn't be this creepy when it came to Slyko and Jinx's relationship, so we're gonna flip it and revamp it when it comes to Mel's mom and like her concubine, her male concubine. Echo, even though he was like the main black character, I believe, it was either Mel or him. Even though he was like the main, at least male black character, he gets nothing in the end. He doesn't get anything in comparison to what Vi got at the end, to what Jace got in the end, or at least was able to have for at least a very little bit in the end. He got nothing. He didn't get the girl. He didn't get to really save the people he wanted to save, even though he did do what he had to do, save the underground, save the city, the people. But in the end, he ended up just being alone. And then with Mel, once she became the magical Negro, she didn't even get the opportunity to have her own solo fight with her mother and be the victor in it. No, she ended up being like an assistant character to Caitlyn, who was the one fighting Mel's mom. Like, they won't even let a black woman on the side of good have her own solo win. No, Caitlyn had to be in the way to share that win. There was just a lot of racial aggressions and, for me, like dog whistles in the series. Oh yeah, and also like the throwaway girlfriends when it came to Sky, I think that was her name, Sky and Mel, in favor of the white lover. You know, Vector and Jace. Like the first season was so promising. There weren't that many like negative black tropes as blatant as they are in this season as it was in the first season that, you know, gave the second season a chance, and it was just like, yeah.
The bamboo earrings, baby.